Hi everybody, it's Siobhan here and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the process on how to get to China. Maybe you want to become a teacher to teach English abroad in a country like Taiwan, a country like China, a country like Vietnam, Japan, Korea. And you don't know the process, you don't know where to get started. So I'm going to give you guys a quick background on how to get started. I will not speak about how to apply for a job, mainly because it's another video on its own. Applying for a job in one of these Asian countries to teach English, or any foreign country to teach English, is a video on its own. I'm going to speak about that in another video. So let's get to it. How to apply for a visa in China, or if you want to tweak this, how to apply for a visa to teach English abroad. So the first thing you need is your bachelor's degree. If you've studied at a recognized university in South Africa, you can get your bachelor's degree. The second thing you would need is a TEFL certificate. So that's teaching English as a foreign language. You can go on the internet, type in TEFL, find a TEFL course that suits you and your price range, and do it. The course isn't very difficult, and if you work very quickly, you can finish the course within a week if you're doing the 120 hour. However, you can have higher levels of TEFL, so you could do a TESOL course. That's a more comprehensive course. But if you're doing a TEFL, a 120 hour TEFL course will suffice for the purposes of teaching English in China. Next, you would need your police clearance. So you go to the police station, you tell them, hey, I want to teach English abroad. Can I have a police clearance? And the police station will then take your documents that you've given them, take the document for the police clearance. So you go to the police station, you fill out a form. The police will then send that form to Pretoria. If you live in Durban, they will send that form to Pretoria, and they have to wait for that to come down. This is the longest part of the process because it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months, sometimes even beyond that. So if you want to apply for to teach English in China, Taiwan, Vietnam, etc., I would recommend doing your police clearance first. Now, step 4 is getting your documents notarized. So you can go to a lawyer. Just move this. You can go to a lawyer and get your documents notarized, or you can go to a notary. The reason I say go to a lawyer is because lawyers are much easier to find. You can go to your local lawyer and ask him or her, hey, can you notarize these documents for me? Next, you need to go to the South African Qualifications Authority, or SAQA. You take your documents that you have already notarized, which is your bachelor's degree, your TEFL, and your police clearance. You take those documents, and if you live in Pretoria or you live nearby, you can actually go to Pretoria, or if you want to go to Pretoria, you can. Take your documents, send them to SAQA, and SAQA will authenticate your documents for you. If you live in Durban, for instance, then you could use the post office and send it via the post office, or you could use Postnet and send it using Postnet. Then step number 6 is to take your TEFL certificate that has been notarized and take it to the High Court for a judge to authenticate it. So the judge will take that TEFL and provide a certificate of authentication, basically saying, hey, this TEFL here is actually genuine and legit. It's not a fake degree that you made up. It's actually something that is um, basically an actual degree that is done through a legit organization, not a fake TEFL course, basically. Then you would, after you have all of your documents, after you've taken your degree, um, that has been sent to SAQA and that has been notarized, after you've taken your TEFL that has been notarized and sent to the High Court, and after you've taken your police clearance and notarized it, it's on to step 7, which you need to take your documents to the Department of International Relations and Cooperations, which is also known as DIRECO. So you take your documents, send them to DIRECO. Once again, DIRECO is in Pretoria, so if you are in Pretoria, you can go there in person. If not, you can either use the post office or Postnet. Another option would be to use an agent. I will discuss that later on. Step number 8, you can find a job. So, like I said, this is a big category all on its own, and I will speak about it in another video. Step number 9 and step number 10, you can take your documents that you got back from your Chinese embassy and take them to the step number 10, you take the documents you got from the Chinese consulate and you bring it to the Chinese embassy, and they will fill out a form at the Chinese embassy. Basically, you fill out a form at the Chinese embassy, and your employer will also help you fill in certain details, and you fill that in. You pay about, I think, 750 for them to apply for your visa. You apply for your visa. It takes about a week for them to give you your visa. And that is the 10 steps in a nutshell. Now let me talk about cost. So your TEFL will cost anywhere from 500 to 3,000 Rand, depending on what course you're doing and who you're doing it with. Your police clearance will cost about 50 to 100 Rand. However, if you're doing it with an agent, it will cost more. Your notary, to notarize all your documents, will cost about about 300 to 800 Rand, but it depends once again on who you're doing it with, how much the lawyer is willing to charge you. I think your local lawyer would be far cheaper, and much more easier to do it with through. Then sending your documents to SAQA, sending your degree to SAQA. If you're using Postnet, it could cost about 400 a trip, so 800 for a round trip. And once again, sending your 3 documents to DIRECO will once again cost you about 800 for a round trip if you live in Durban. However, if you live in Pretoria or a surrounding area, it would be far cheaper. Because I'm from Durban, I'm giving you the Durban to Pretoria sort of prices. Then the Chinese consulate would be free, and if you can go to the Chinese consulate in person, because as far as I know, Cape Town, Durban, and Johannesburg each have their own Chinese consulate. And then going to the embassy to apply for a visa would cost you anywhere between 750 to 1,000 Rand. And once again, Durban, Johannesburg, and Cape Town each have their own Chinese embassy, and so it is easy to apply for your visa over there. You can just do it in person. Okay, guys, so this is basically all of the steps that I've given you, the 10 steps, but I've divided them into stages so it's easy to understand. So your first stage, stage 1, would be to take your bachelor's degree, your TEFL, and your police clearance and get them notarized at a notary or lawyer. So notarizing documents can be done in a few minutes, depending on how busy your lawyer or notary is. Police clearance takes about 3 to 6 months to complete without the aid of an agent. And your TEFL course takes about 1 week to a month to complete. Stage two. Stage two. In stage two, you take your documents that have been notarized, right? And you take your bachelor's degree that has been notarized and you send it to SAQA. And it also in stage two, you can take your TEFL that has been notarized and you send that to the High Court for authentication. High Court authentication can be done on the same day, but SAQA takes about 2 to 3 days if you are there in person. Stage three, you take your bachelor's degree that has been notarized and has been sent to SAQA, and you take your TEFL that has been notarized and been sent to the High Court, and then you take your police clearance that has been notarized and send them to DIRECO. DIRECO takes about 2 to 3 days to process your documents. Stage four, you take your bachelor's degree that has been notarized, that has been sent to DIRECO, that has been sent to SAQA. You take your TEFL that has been notarized, that has been sent to the High Court, and that has been sent to DIRECO. And you take your police clearance that has been sent to DIRECO and has already been notarized, and you send that to the Chinese consulate. The consulate takes about 2 to 3 days to process your documents if you are there in person. Stage five, you take all 3 documents, so your bachelor's degree, your TEFL, and your police clearance. These documents have already been sent to the Chinese consulate, and now you take them to the Chinese embassy and you apply for your Z visa. The embassy takes about 1 week to process your visa. Okay. So now I'm going to talk about the use of agents. Now, if you are in a hurry or you are not confident in okay, so now I'm going to speak about the use of agents or agencies. These agencies are experts in helping you apply for jobs abroad, experts in handling your visa process. And so if you do not have the time to do this yourself, or you say, you know what, this is a little complicated, and it can be complicated. That's why I took the time to draw up these diagrams for you guys. You can use an agent, and basically you have to pay the agency maybe anywhere between 3,000 to 20,000 rand, depending on what you want them to do for you. But basically, all you need is your bachelor's degree and your TEFL certificate, and the agency will get your police clearance done. They will send your degree to SAQA. They will send your documents to DIRECO. They will notarize your documents. They will send it to your TEFL to the High Court for you, and they will do everything for you in one go. The only thing about these guys, like I said, is they are a little expensive, and so if you have the money to fork out, I would suggest, if you have the money and if you can fork out the money, I would suggest you use an agency. However, if you do not want to use an agency or make use of any agents, then you can follow the steps that I have shown you guys to apply for a job basically anywhere in like Taiwan, Vietnam, Korea, Japan. It doesn't have to be just China. So yes, guys, that's the process.